the gentleman in the back, and then you. Could you please identify yourself?
I'm Woody Cunningham. I'm a retired nuclear scientist, and I'm very impressed with what John was saying and the effort he's making to improve the future. My question, John, is related to the present day. We have hundreds, perhaps thousands of chemists out there who are able to invent new chemicals very rapidly these days. What is your approach to reaching these people and making an effort to turn that around?
The way I look at that, that's an excellent point, and we need to recognize the installed base of scientists too. It's not just about the future scientists, but about today. And I believe that if we created this academic programs teaching green chemistry and made them available, then scientists in industry could avail themselves of those classes. So when people talk about coming up with ways of grading products and saying, is this a green product or is this not a green product, I get a little bit antsy. It's a worrisome concept for me for a couple of reasons I won't get into. But what I think the opportunity is can you imagine having an organization say, Company X, Y, and Z has made sure that 40% of their workforce every year receives training in green chemistry. And instead of looking at a product that is green, say that that workforce is green. Now there'll be an incentive for the universities to offer the classes because they got paying clientele. They're going to come and pay the classes, and we can move the educational ball forward. So maybe what we should be focusing again is instead of the molecules on the people, and just ascertain that different groups of chemists, what companies they work for, that there are programs to make sure that every year there is some, because they ain't getting it outside, so internally some kind of accreditation that they are being trained in these principles. We need to do that. This has to happen. Yeah.
If I could ask John to elaborate on one point, it's that John is actually working with some of these larger companies now, helping them equip their workforce with those skill sets and work with their leadership to try and bring the principles of green chemistry into their product design. You might want to elaborate a little bit.
Yeah, and part of the thing, so the Beyond Benign organization has what we call this program to change academia. It's called the Green Chemistry Commitment. And what we have done is we've gone to companies and had companies say, heck yeah, if students had this, we would certainly hire them. Because obviously we don't want to create unemployable people. And at the same time, the companies are starting to say, well, wait a minute, we should be doing this internally too. And so I find it interesting, and I'll make this blanket statement. Industry is ahead of academia in green chemistry. I will make that statement, and I'll stand by that statement. You know, there is a company, a very big chemical company, who, when companies are going from research to development, they do this thing called the stage gate process, in which they evaluate the chemistry, they look at the business opportunity, they look at all the different things that go into the technical feasibility as they progress. Companies are now using the 12 principles of green chemistry as one of the stage gates. Okay? I have never gone to a company and the company has said, we reject this. What they're saying is, we love it, but our people haven't been trained in it. How are we going to do it if the people aren't trained in it? So no one objects to doing it. It's the reality that they don't have the training to do it. And so that's the missing element. And you are absolutely right to point that out. We've got to focus also on the existing people.
Terry, do you want to add anything to that?
No, I think that's a very good analysis. Yeah, I agree with that.
I would add one thing, which is that a consortium of organizations, including Advancing Green Chemistry, led by Karen O'Brien, have been holding training sessions at large chemistry conferences, bringing in experts in the environmental health sciences, basically to teach courses on 21st century toxicology every chemist should know. And I participated in those, and they've been standing room only. We've been asked back year after year, and the response has been almost uniformly, that science is so exciting. It's helping us so much. How do we gain access to it? And so actually Terry and John and I and Karen and a group of people have been developing a protocol that Terry mentioned that will help chemists in the lab today gain access to the decision-making tools they can use to integrate green chemistry in their design process.
And also at the American Chemical Society, over the last decade or so, we have, I guess the right word is wrestled, on the Committee for Environmental Improvement with the challenges of bringing this information to the chemical community. And to the ACS's credit, it now has absolutely superb policy statements on endocrine disruption and on biomonitoring and on a variety of other of these issues that are absolutely critical for dealing with the problems. Another number of the other professional societies have really stepped up on low-dose adverse effects. For example, the Endocrine Society, very, very important thing for these people to be saying these low-dose adverse effects of everyday chemicals are the most important thing to our professional body for some considerable time. So things are moving beautifully along.
I'm going to go to Rick, and then Jeremy, and then Stan. And please introduce yourself.
I'm Rick McCullough from Carnegie Mellon University. Actually, had a very similar related question to the last question, sort of 2 points. One is, I'm a chemist. I'm a professor in a university. I don't know anything about green chemistry. I certainly have it in my heart to design things that are good for the environment. How do you retrain professors and academics? That's the first question. Second question is, one of the most compelling things about green chemistry is you have to make the economic argument to industry. And Terry made a wonderful statement to me a long time ago that we have to get to the point where industry understands that they spend as much or more on litigation than they do on developing green chemistry. And I was wondering how that battle's going and convincing American industry, U.S. industry, to move in that direction.
Okay. Second one first, I think that battle's been won. I think that, by and large, most companies do get it. And again, it's not that they don't want to do it, it's that they don't feel they can, which comes to the first question. And that is exactly what this green chemistry commitment program is for. Is we recognize that many universities have several faculty who want to do it, but they haven't had the classes, they haven't had the training. So the whole point is to bring the resources together to develop a multi-dimensional set of resources so that if an undergraduate faculty member teaching freshman chemistry wants to introduce it, well, here are some things to integrate, not replace and change the curriculum, but insert it in the places that they find interesting. How to do it with organic, how to do it with biochem. And so we've meticulously gone through and created and done it also through K through 12. So we actually have there are, on the Beyond Benign website, there are over 350 lesson plans that are downloadable free. And they are not in PDF, they're in Word format so that the teacher can edit it and make it their own. And it's been translated into Spanish, and we go from K through 12 up, and we say, we recognize that people have imposed on them the curriculum they must teach. A third grade teacher in Quincy, Massachusetts has very little choice in what they're going to teach the second week of March. And instead of trying to fight that battle, give them a packet that teaches what they have to teach, but introduces these concepts to facilitate it, upgrade it, improve science and math education, make the students more interested, and start introducing these important subjects. And bringing that through K through 12 to undergraduate to graduate school, recognizing that people are very busy and it's very hard to bring these skills in. So how can we make it as seamless and easy as possible? The second thing is the American Chemical Society's Green Chemistry Institute is a champion in this too, in trying to bring this. We have in the ACS the CPT guidelines. And the CPT guidelines are a thing that's published by the American Chemical Society saying that all chemistry departments should teach this, 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 and this, and this. The most potent tool for a department chair, I was the chair of chemistry, I understand this, is to run to a university administrator and say, oh my God, we're going to lose accreditation if we don't have blank, blank, and blank. And if we can get the ACS to have that in, then the resources will be made available for it. And so, Bob Peoples was in the audience. I don't know if he's still here. The Green Chemistry Institute at the ACS is trying desperately to work. Academia is a hard thing to change, but we're trying.
Yeah. And as you very well know, Rick, Carnegie Mellon has a free green chemistry educational website with 17 videos and a very great deal of material that I understand is being used pretty widely. and we get a lot of complimentary remarks on that. So there's a lot of stuff going on to try to help there, but the country could be doing more.
Okay.